Hello and welcome to this short demo of iPico Wiz. Today we're going to show you a simple race just to show you how the software works and where all the menus are and stuff like that. So let's get started. There's an actual race loaded. We did this in Suriname, I think, but we're going to make one of our own. So the first thing you notice is the button bar here. We'll start with making a new event or a new race. We're gonna have to give it a name. Test race seems fine, and we're going to need to make to select a tag map. Now a tag map is a text file which basically connects the bib number to the tag ID. I can show you the one which we're going to use. It's a small one, just 32 tags, so you have the bib number here and this is the ID. We make this pretty easy with the USB reader. It takes well, depends on how many tags you have, of course, but it's not that much work. We'll select the tag map. You can see that it has 32 tags. The first one is 1 and the last one is, I'll just quit Skype for you. Last one is 32, so basically it's 1 to 32. And we'll create a race. Now you'll see it changed a little bit. This is the load screen. It just shows you how much information is loaded, in this case just some tags. And it's created the distance because it also created dummy contestants for you, and it gave them the distance unused. You can remove these, but I prefer to leave them there because if there's a little mess up at the sign up bit, then it's possible that somebody got a tag and that isn't known in the system, and at least you can find it back if there's a dummy contestant, so it's easy. Right, now the second thing we need to do is put some actual people in there. Not actual people, of course, it's demo data, but you have a button here that says import. This, by the way, is export for the results, so it makes it a little bit easier. And you get a new screen. Essentially, you can select which type of import you wish to do. This is pretty much Dutch only, but the Excel and the CSV are fine. The tag file is like a file from the Elite Reader, so if you're working offline you can import them via this menu as well. I'm going to do an Excel file. I have to select the file. Of course I'm in the right folder already. You can use XLS and XLS6, so Excel 2010 is fine as well. I'll just use the old one, doesn't matter. Now I'll show you the file. It's really a simple Excel file. It just takes the first work tab, and it ignores the first line, and basically this is the bib number, first name, middle name, last name, distance. You have to make sure that you write 10K the same way for each contestant. If you change the capital letter or space or something, it'll be a new distance for the software. Same goes for affiliation and category. Obviously, these are actually not used in the software, just for filtering. Right, I don't want to save it. As you can see, it gives you a small preview. You can check if the fields are in the correct spot. In this case it is, so I'll just import. Well, it imported 32 records. And as you can see, something changed here as well. You can see that there's actually contestants here, and on the left you can see all your distances. Since I actually use all the contestants, there's no unused anymore, so it's nice. Now we can configure each distance if we want by pressing the little button here, and you can basically just well, you can change the name, but every time we reload the software rebuilds it from the contestant file, so if you change this, next time you reload it will be back. So the gun time is the start time. Currently it's set on a very long time ago. Usually we do automatic starts, so that means you shoot and then the time starts. I'll show you that later. But should you want to do a manual, you can actually fill in the date and the time here, or you can select one from all the previously known times. Status, currently inactive. I can probably put this to ready to start. You can see it starts, it changes to a yellow bub. If you put it on active, it'll be green, and if you put it on finish, there'll be a checkered flag. So Ready to start is fine at the moment. Here you can configure your race. If you want to use net times, so that means that the runners, when they start, they also run over a mod, as well as on the finish line. You can do that. I'm going to leave it on gross time, which means you give everybody the gun time as a start time, because that'll be a little bit faster for the demo. You can also add splits if you wish, checkpoints. You just press the button. I can also do it to start. It'll add a split. You can give it a name, for instance. Well, that's probably not a good idea. And that's it. So that's the easy way to do it. It gives you a warning that if you change something in the checkpoints, you should probably press the reload button on the main screen, which is... Oh, it actually gives you a warning that you should do it. Yes, please. And the reload button is here, so you can just press it and it will reload all the data. Same goes for all the other events. I'm just going to leave them all on the same spot, but I'm not going to start them all at the same time. Now, we need to also connect to the reader. You can work offline by just importing all the tag files from the import menu. I prefer to do it live. It's much more responsive and fun that way. So you can add a iPico reader, and just add one, give it a name. In this case it's a simulator, because I don't have a reader here at home at the moment. The IP address, which I'm going to leave at the same time, which is fine. And I'm just going to press and it'll connect. Now there's a couple of buttons coming on the bottom. It's also possible that the little bub here will be orange instead of green. That probably means that your time sync is off and it'll display the time difference. If I open it up, you can actually see the time difference here, which is not that much considering the simulator is running on the same PC. So you can actually time sync here, which will send a time sync command to the reader and sync it, and you can clear the reader if it's an elite, of course, otherwise it won't work. So we're connected to the reader, which is green. We have 2 races ready to start, 2 which aren't. I say let's start. So we use a button on the timestamp input on the reader for starts. You can use a button, or we can use the start sensors, whatever. But we always do a start with the button, just because that makes it a little bit easier to filter out all the tags that have been read before the start, because runners always run over your mods if you have them. So, right, we're going to do a start. Here we go. And you can actually see some changes. First, the distances are green and the time is running. You can also see, it was probably a little bit difficult to see on the screen here, but the icons in front of each of the runners changed from a sitting person to a running one. So now we know they're running. You can actually see that on the person as well. If you press the selected person, you get a button here, press it, you get some information on the runner. So in this case his name. And you can also select timing, which means you can see the start, finish, time and the checkpoints if you want. In this case we only have a finish checkpoint and the state is not passed, so he hasn't finished yet. All the chip reads will be displayed here, so you can look it back if there's a problem. Now we'll start the other race as well. Well, we'll do it on 1 minute. I mean, it's only 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Ah, not bad. Right, now I have a simulator here which will basically just finish people in a certain interval, in this case 1 second, so we'll see people starting to finish right about now. As you can see, I'll just hold it here, every time somebody, it's not technically finishes, but passes a checkpoint, it'll pop up here a little window here with some data. So in this case, Curtis Gintoina, I should probably have used easier names, I guess. Just finished in 1 minute 22.6. He's done the English mile, which is Dutch, sorry. It's his category, his affiliation, and all his checkpoints will be on here. It's pretty easy. I mean, if you're close to the finish line and you see 5 people passing the finish line, you should see 5 of those little windows pop, and they really pop, so it's easy to see if there's 5 people just finished. You can just check everything that way. You can also see that the icon in front of the runner has changed from a running man to a checkered flag, so it makes it a little bit easier as well. And you can see in the distance that 6 out of 18 people finished. Now in this case, since it's gross timing and they didn't have a checkpoint on the start, these two are the same. But if you use net timing, you can also see the amount of people that actually started. Well, I'll just continue finishing until we have at least some results here. Yeah, that should be fine. Right, now we want to make some results. I see that everybody of the 10 kilometers is finished, so we'll use that. This is the export screen. I think it wasn't very clear. I'll show you. It's this button. And essentially you use this to create the results. Now first thing you can do is filter on distance or distance and category. In this case I'm just going to do distance and select the 10 kilometers. But I could also do distance and category and select, I don't know, no, there's nobody in that one. Select the category. So it's 10 kilometers. Since we had gross timing, so gun starts, net timing isn't really that useful, and splits are probably not that useful either. They're all from the same affiliation, so we can remove that as well. So you have some settings just to display which columns it should export and stuff like that. You have some extra settings which I generally don't change, but if you want to, it's possible. And these are the buttons for the export. You can export to Excel. I'm not gonna export it to there. Yeah, you can do that. So it'll just create a simple Excel file where you can change stuff, print it, whatever you want. So it's easy. Or you can print it to a printer. In this case it's a PDF printer, so it'll just show you the results like this. All in all, fairly easy. Should you have any questions, you can always email me or call me via Skype. My Skype name is Leon Dirks, and you should be able to find it pretty easy. So thank you for watching, and maybe talk to you later.